You might be having multiple devices in your homes. Doesn't matter whether they are small or big in size, but their security and safety is important, especially if they are connected to internet. And that's why the role of IoT becomes very much important. Hey there, my name is Rohit Kumar, and today we are going to discuss this particular concept, IoT security. Is it really important? Because so many people do say that security is one thing, but the application of something is a different thing. Means if you increase or if you use too many security protocols with respect to a particular application, then the usability of the application goes down. It might be true in some of the application scenarios. And yes, indeed, in case of IoT, it does, because the IoT devices are resource constrained in nature. Means the normal things in your household lives. Means whatever you have, like a smart fan, you have a particular wheelchair, which is giving you some sort of sensing data. And depending on the patient's heartbeat or etc., it might send some remote signals to some of the nearest medical units like that. Means there might be n number of applications, n number of use cases. But first and very foremost thing is that you do have numerous devices in your homes. And that's why you are supposed to take care of all these things. Now, point is that if those devices are not intelligent enough, means smart enough as the IoT conceptualizes, then what is the usefulness of IoT? Obviously not much. But if they are connected to internet by some means, then definitely they might change your way of living. So first thing, if your devices are smart, means they are able to send or receive data by some means, and especially through internet, then they might create security issues for you also. So that's why you should bother about the security. And that's why we are discussing the concept of IoT security in this particular lecture. Let me tell you that why security is important for you. Consider this particular image. It looks dark, and if you had listened about the concept of dark web, then you must have understood by now what I'm trying to make you understand. This particular concept, this log is stating a kind of firewall, which is providing you kind of security with respect to the kind of data access through your IoT network. Now here, there are numerous IoT devices behind this particular firewall, and it's a kind of dark web firewall. Means like in dark web, we have numerous illogical relationships among multiple web pages and websites. Additionally, there might be numerous hackers, there might be numerous malicious nodes, and there might be numerous adversaries which are trying to steal your data. There might be multiple unlawful transactions which is not taken into account, and people are being threatened through these sort of platforms because they do know that it is not easy to trace them back. So point is that when we are discussing that there are so many devices, and dark web is a different thing. I'm not going to be part of dark web, but should I bother just because I have so many things in my home? And obviously you cannot consider today's life without the necessary gadgets. So point is that you have to consider the security. Then you are free to use any sort of devices. Now, how to consider that security, and if your devices are connected to internet, how secure your devices are to use them at any moment of time. So the normal claim is that we are using insecure IoT devices. You might be thinking that no, I'm not using, but yes, you are using. If at least one of the devices that you own is connected to internet, then that might be the gateway of number of threats to you in the form of malicious attacks. Now, you must have heard about the ransomware. Ransomware is a kind of malware which is going to take control of your devices and then steal some of the sensitive data that you hold onto those devices. And then the attacker will ask for some sort of ransom for you, against you. And that particular ransom you have to pay, then only you'll take the control back of your particular content. Now, these sort of things do happen in real life, but many of us are not aware about these. So let me tell you some of the practical use cases. You can see a smart webcam, like in your laptop also, in your mobile also, you have a smart webcam. Smart means it can capture images and it can get associated with the IP connectivity and it can transfer it over to some of the distant server. Now that distant server might be some malicious server, and if your connection is hijacked, then definitely your sensitive information might be leaked to internet. So that's why somebody might be spying onto you and you are not aware about it. So that's why if you are thinking that you are not going to use some of the facility, immediately shut it down. Whenever you are not going to use your digital gadgets, disconnect them from internet properly, then only go for sleep. So in this way, this is the first kind of use case. Secondly, suppose if you are having a wearable device, like in smart hospitalization or in smart medical system, we do imagine that we have very good sensors and all those are connected with each other. They are kind of autonomous and they are sending the data to the medical unit based on their periodicity. Now, point is that when these sensors or the modes, IoT modes, which are attached to the patient body are hijacked by some of the malicious user, then they can send the data to the unauthentic server. And there some sort of analytics might be taking place, because nowadays it is not easy to capture, even to analyze the big data also, because there are so many fog and cloud services which are just ready to have some sort of analytics within a matter of minutes. So that's why it becomes very much important that you take control of the security in your hands and make sure that none of your IoT sensors which are connected to your patient are sending the unlawful or unauthentic data to some of the malicious site. Then third is that if you are having some sort of small gadgets like the television and it is lacking some of the necessary updates, and this issue is very much common when you are using some your laptop or mobile also, because there are so many updates your devices might be asking, but you are just delaying them because you don't have the necessary plan. Necessary plan, I'm saying, because just to save few MBs of our data plan, we just ignore the necessary updates, and it's a very dangerous practice, because there might be some necessary security patches which need to be included, but if you are ignoring them, then over the period of time, some malicious user might take control of your system. And this is necessary to take care of all these loopholes, because if you are not doing so, somebody else, means some attacker, will take control of that, and it will be an advantageous situation for that particular attacker. Lastly, if we are discussing some smart vehicle, so autonomous vehicles, we are discussing so much debate is there now. Tesla and so many related companies, even Tata is discussing about these sort of vehicles. So you should consider that after electrical vehicles, after electric vehicles, you are definitely going into the era of autonomous vehicles. So there will be driverless vehicles, and you'll be roaming from one place to another without any driver. So in this way, if somebody takes control of your vehicle, then you are doomed, because there is no control from your side onto the vehicle, and vehicle is just increasing the speed or going into a specific direction, and you can't do anything. So that's why if you are moving into a digital age, if you are using such high-fi scientific equipments and the technologies, then definitely you should bother about the security much. And if you are not a security person, it is not always like this that you need to be very much qualified in the field of security just to take care of all these activities. The only necessary things that you need is just to take care of necessary updates, not using kind of default passwords, not using some sort of basic information sharing practices. And if you take care of all these things, then definitely you may save yourself and your loved ones from any sort of mishappenings. That's all from my side in IoT security. Hopefully it might be useful for you. If you didn't like anything, please do comment below and let me know how we can improve our future analysis. Thanks for watching this particular video. Happy learning.